Today I will teach you how to be sub 12 on 3x3. Before I go into this video, if you haven't already entered my 500 subscriber giveaway, then I would highly recommend you consider doing so after watching this video. Also, before watching this video, I recommend that you are at least sub 15. If you are not sub 15, you might find this video helpful, but I do already have a tutorial on how to be sub 15. Anyway, let's now move on to my 5 best tips on how to be sub 12 on 3x3. Tip 1 is to fix your algorithms. Make sure that you know all the F2L cases where you can solve F2L pairs from different angles and into the back slot. I don't mean going super crazy with this, but just try to make sure that every F2L pair can be solved efficiently, and I think I already talked a little bit about this in my sub 15 video, but any speed from this point onwards, you really kind of need to be using some of the most efficient solutions. So try to find all the F2L pairs that you are currently pretty slow at, and then once you find those F2L cases, try to look up or figure out different algorithms that can solve that F2L pair more efficiently. You should be trying to solve these F2L pairs usually in 8 moves or less. It's also important that you're using full OLL and full PLL. I kind of already went through this in my sub 15 video, but when you're going for sub 12, this becomes so crucial. Now, it's pretty difficult to be sub 12 without these, so just make sure you know all 57 OLL algorithms and all 21 PLL cases. This shouldn't be too hard, and if you already know these algorithms, then it's really about drilling these algorithms. Try to make sure that you're using the correct ones. If you're using algorithms that you struggle to do quick enough, then try to find a new algorithm for it, or just keep drilling the algorithm. An example of this is with G-perms. I used to be using a G-perm algorithm with a rotation, but now I know this really nice RUD algorithm that can make it be done super quickly. Tip 2 is to reduce regrips. It's very useful that you stay in home grip at all times. This essentially means having your thumbs in the front of the cube and basically just try not to regrip. Also, it's important to note that rotations are also a type of regrip. Make sure that you know how to solve F2L pairs into the back, and also don't do unnecessary rotations. I also kind of struggle with this a bit, but when you're becoming sub 12, there can really be little you can do, so just try to remove all the unnecessary moves and rotations. If you know more better figure tricks, then this can usually encourage you to have less regrips and stay in home grip more of the time. Tip 3 is to improve the flow of your solves. Sub 12 solves should be done almost perfectly. There should be little mistakes, efficient solution, and you get the point. Often when I see a solve that's not sub 12, it has something to do with the flow. Like maybe there's a couple pauses, a couple rotations, or just inefficient solutions during F2L. Whatever it could be, this is really because of the flow. So if you can have a really nice flow and you know exactly what to do, and you're solving F2L pairs with little pauses and little rotations, then you'll be good at this step. But often I find the reason why I wasn't sub 12 and the reason why I am sub 12 is pretty much because I just improved my flow. I used to pause a lot more, but now I still pause, but I don't pause like as much as I used to. And yeah, just try to improve flow. So tip 4 is look ahead. To improve flow, reduce regrips, and make less mistakes and pauses, you need to have good look ahead. The best way to improve your times at any skill level is to improve your look ahead. However, when becoming sub 12, you really have to get rid of almost every pause that exists. And you're probably watching my solves right now and thinking, yeah, I pause a bit, and that's true, but I don't pause anywhere near as much as I used to. And often you guys can take these simple look ahead techniques and try to implement them into your solves. Now, how do you actually improve look ahead? Well, I'll probably make a tutorial in the future like about look ahead, but here are my main tips for improving look ahead. The first way of improving look ahead is just by doing slow solves. I'm sure you've already heard to do this before, but doing slow solves can be very helpful for improving your look ahead. But you could also try metronome practice. This is another way of doing slow solves, and there's also looking at other F2L pairs, not focusing on the F2L pair you're solving, and with practice, look ahead will gradually get better for you. My 5th tip is to plan further in inspection. The biggest pause a SpeedyGoneCuber can make is usually in between the cross to F2L transition. You could do what I did, which was to try to plan plan cross +1 in inspection, however that's a little advanced for this level. Instead, if you're working on the sub 12 barrier, I recommend trying to look for your first F12 pair as you're solving the cross. So have an idea in inspection, try to look for a corner, maybe an edge if you can, but focus on possibly just a corner for the start and track the piece while you're doing the cross. You can start off by solving your cross slowly, and eventually as your look ahead improves, you'll be able to do the cross at a normal speed. But make sure that you try to track a corner and maybe an edge while you're solving the cross, and hopefully with practice your cross to F12 transition should improve. To plan further in inspection, I don't mean to try and plan cross +1 in inspection, as that's a little bit too hard for this level. You could try looking for an F12 pair in inspection, but that's definitely not essential for sub 12. Just make sure that you have a rough idea, and if you can, try to look for a corner and edge. You don't have to know exactly where they're going to be, but just make sure that you know how to track them during the cross. And also, let's make this clear, you should already be able to plan your entire cross during inspection. However, if you can't plan the cross on its own during inspection, that's something to work on. Anyways, I hope you found these tips helpful, and thank you all so much for watching this video. If you found these tips helpful, then let me know down in the comments below, and also if you think I missed any advice on how to be sub 12, because I know there's a lot of people watching this video who are trying to break the sub 12 barrier, and all the help would be really good. Again, I do have a 500 subscriber giveaway, which there is I think about a couple weeks left to enter, so feel free to enter that giveaway if you haven't already, where I'll be giving away a Use Your Little Magic Square 1. And also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications, as we post cubing related content to this channel every week, which you probably won't want to miss out on. Anyway, I hope you all become sub 12 soon, and thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!